What a throwback. Today we have the Restomod version of Delacruz's Adidas AdiZero 1.5 shoe. Let's check them out.
Slow. Yeah, I'm watching the rise, and I wouldn't say I'm shocked because I'm hardly surprised.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're turning back the clock to check out the revamped AdiZero Rose 1.5 basketball shoe. But before we look at how these play, we're going to knock out some of the basic info first. So these retail for $160. And for Adidas, that is kind of expensive. So you kind of assume they put some extra care into this shoe. I don't even remember what they retailed for, the first time around. But looking at the appearance for these, I actually played in this shoe whenever I was in high school. So this is pretty cool, just being able to check these out all these years later. And just like me and my buddy were talking about this a little bit ago whenever we were doing our first impressions. I think that came out like a week or two ago. How this definitely has like a retro look. And they released 10 years ago or something like that now. So that's just crazy to even think about. But I like how they put some of what's being used within the shoe and on the shoe, kind of on top of the shoe, and they spell it out for you. And I'll talk more about this stuff in a minute, but around the ankle, you're going to see the word Sprint Skin. On the midsole, you'll see the word Light Strike just below D Rose's signature. And then more towards the front of the shoe, you're going to see the word Sprint Frame. So I just think it's cool whenever Adidas does stuff like that, or any brand for that matter. The tongue is going to be a little bit more basic though. Just going to have the black and red up top with his name, then a little Adidas logo kind of at the bottom of the lacing system. The heel is really clean though. I mean, the three vertical stripes, the three vertical red stripes on the back are super tough. And then above that is going to be his signature showing up again with the word AdiZero above that for the model name. So I mean, the black and red color scheme is really cool for a Chicago colorway, if you want to call it that. I know it's the vivid red is what it technically goes by, but I mean, he did play for the Chicago Bulls to start his career. But I feel like the all black doesn't really do them enough justice. Still a pretty cool model either way, but this is a basketball shoe after all. So now let's see how they hold up on the court. So now checking out more of the materials and the performance side, Restomod shoes are always fun because they just kind of go back and update some of the features on the shoe with some newer tech that just wasn't really around at the time that these released. So starting off with the cushioning, these were upgraded to a light strike midsole paired with some iDprene cushioning for the setup. So I do have some mixed emotions kind of about how these feel on the court. For $160, was expecting a little bit of a softer feel, and at least under your foot, the cushioning feels pretty thin. The 1.5s aren't going to be rock hard or anything like that. I wouldn't say it's a stiff model, but at the same time, they don't have a lot of spring or anything like that for your foot. It's going to be more of a balanced feel from the front to the back. And I feel the surrounding parts of the shoe, I mean, they're pretty good. The sock liner and the material that runs over the top of your foot, that's definitely not bad, but it's pretty average kind of outside of that. And keeping it in Adidas's line here, I'd liken these to maybe feeling the Harden 6 or the Don Issue 2, something that isn't super padded, but it's not going to be as firm as the Harden 5s that were super stiff. It's not going to be as soft as the Trae Young 1s. Now I'm just kind of bouncing around Adidas lines. I'm just trying to paint a picture for you if you've played in any of those shoes before that I just mentioned. But using our durometer to check out the midsole, these were reading at a 47, and that is more on the firm side for a basketball shoe. So it does kind of check out with what I've been feeling. So I mean, I'm just saying for a shoe that's $160, I wouldn't say that they really reached that price point just off of the cushioning alone. It just doesn't really play up to that standard. So now looking at the materials and the support, this is a spot where you can kind of tell that Adidas put a little bit more interest on than just what you would see in a typical basketball shoe, in my opinion. And you can somewhat tell this is a retro shoe just by some of the premium touches that they get. Most basketball shoes have kind of moved to lighter and just cheaper textiles and stuff like that. But the toe box is going to be leather on the shoe, and there are some overlays kind of running up the side that are also going to be leather. And I really do like that. Adidas actually did a Restomod on the T-Mac 2.0, and I mean these have little patent leather just covering the shoe. These are a dead giveaway that it's a throwback model. I do feel it is kind of the same idea here on this D-Rose, AdiZero 1.5 model. And now we'll kind of come back to those pieces that were labeled on the shoe that we hit on for the appearance section. So you're going to have that Sprint frame on the midsole, and that's there to help keep your foot closer to the ground. And this Sprint Skin that's going to be marked out near your ankle, that's just a lightweight and waterproof 4-layer upper that combines innovative textiles and films. That is said to give you serious protection for any conditions that you're playing in. So Adidas might have shortened this a little bit on the cushioning, or at least that's kind of how it felt. So that's for the materials, you got plenty going on here. And then that's also going to help you support multiple things on the shoe are going to be able to help you just keep your foot reinforced. And I just kind of touched on all the materials as a whole. are made to be more supportive on this upper. Like the upper is super tough. I don't feel any give on any of my cuts. And the heel is going to be like this molded plastic. It just helps keep your foot from sliding up, or just like sliding around more than it should. Like look, straight up, D Rose is one of the most explosive point guards to ever walk the earth whenever he was in his prime. So Adidas always kind of placed a special focus on making sure that like the support didn't lag. So if D Rose can play in these without support issues, I think that most of us probably can too. And for like all the premium touches on the shoe that is going on, he still stayed relatively lightweight, for his grip, for a size 10 and a half. It is around the average for most shoes that I recommend, and especially with this being a mid-top shoe, that's definitely not a bad weight. So a lot of strong features for the AdiZero 1.5 for these two sections, and I'm a fan. So wrapping it up with the traction, these have a pure motion outsole. You can actually see it labeled in a small font on the outsole again. And then on the side of the outsole, it's going to be some more text that shows the AdiZero Rose has a cilia traction surface. I actually had to look that up because like I've never seen it before, but it's a really cool concept. It's meant to give you grip for two different directions, and it's also supposed to like have two different heights. So whenever one of them wears down, you still have traction left over there. So we definitely don't see a lot of that traction setup in shoes today. Like this is the only shoe that I've actually ever played in where I've seen something like that. And I hate to like bring rain to the parade, but if all other shoes that have the same traction pattern play the same as the way this AdiZero 1.5 model plays, well, I can kind of see why Adidas would have gone away from it. Like, I don't feel a lot of grip on the court whenever I'm playing with these. Like there's a lot of sliding around. It's really not even like they've been collecting dust. Like they just aren't even kicking up there yet. The grip just hasn't been very consistent. Like, I hate to say it, but it's been bad most of the time. Sometimes it feels okay. These aren't really touching the surface of being good to being great. So they do feel pretty durable though. So I wouldn't like step on these for an outdoor option. I was a little bit sad to see this traction, like how that plays though, because I know in the Son of Shy, like his some of his other lines and some of his other shoes, they've been really good for the traction. So that was kind of sad for me. But to finish off with sizing, the length is going to be perfect. Like you're gonna have a little thumb width left over, somewhat of a narrow model though, so keep that in mind if you have a wider foot. But I mean overall, well, I mean first, like I'm just pumped to be playing in a Delacruz shoe again. Like he has kind of faded to the background with some of these younger sneaker athletes with Adidas coming forward, like Trey Young, Donovan Mitchell, Dame, guys like that. They've kind of taken over the brand. But D Rose, he's still my guy. From the performance side, simply put, there are better performance models out there for $60. Like there's really no way around that. The cushioning is mediocre. The traction definitely struggles, but they're still light and supportive. Definitely high quality too. That's definitely the best feature. So it's still not a bad shoe to move in, especially if you're looking for something outdoors. Thank you guys for taking some time to watch. Feel free to throw some follow or a sub if you like this video. And if you're interested in buying these shoes and you want to support our channel, just click the link that we have here on screen. We have links down below or in our bio, so feel free to check those out. Until next time, I'm Miguel.